very end of this first movement, it goes back to that early French overture style again to finish it off. And so we're close to the end. End of the first movement. Okay, now, by contrast, air is really a song. So this is also not really a dance. Recognize it here? Listen to the bass line, jumping back and forth in octaves, but going down the line at the same time. Right. Here it starts again, so you can hear it. Contrast between the melody on top, which just sort of floats, and this constant walking, what we call a walking bass in jazz, actually, which probably is taken right from the Baroque era. Lots of jazz, by the way, is taken from this time period, including, by the way, the idea that when you're playing, you just make stuff up. That idea of improvisation started disappearing in the classical age. There was still some of it left, for soloists especially, but it kind of went away until the American jazz movement picked it up again and said, well, take your saxophone and when we hit the, such and such, you just play and whatever comes to mind. And that was done here, but it wasn't done for another 200 years. So that's the air. Let's just go to a couple of the dances and then we'll put this one in the barn. I just lost my sheet here. Oh, it's not on there, it's in my book. That explains it. Okay, the gavotte. You can look at what make up these. I'm not going to ask you to remember necessarily what each dance is, the gavotte is, etc., the double, triple thing. But if you could remember the names, a gavotte is a dance, and it has this sort of formal feeling, that's kind of cool. Let's see if I can find this. Bach. Sweet. Number 3. Very different feelings, right? That too. Now, look up sometime. We don't have to do this right now, and you don't have to see it necessarily in class. But look up just sometime Baroque dance, and look for one of these things where you can see the costumes and so forth. And you'll see it's line dancing, really, basically. They line up with each other, and then they shift. It's quite elegant, quite beautiful. But the idea of line dancing disappeared in the classical age too, and for another 200 years until, believe it or not, in the United States, especially in the country western scene, right? It starts coming back again. Isn't that curious, right? Or, I don't know, chicken dance is, I suppose, a line dance too, but that's I'm not sure if that's going in the right direction. But so you see, a lot of these things that seem to have disappeared, all of a sudden, 200 years later, come back in a different form. And there's something about that line dance which is kind of intoxicating. I don't know what it is exactly, except that you feel, instead of the obvious, male-female relationship that you get in a waltz or a foxtrot, where people are, one person is dancing with another person, you get a kind of collective feeling of motion, where the whole room is moving at the same. And it must be also what is so fascinating about modern dance. If you're a professional dancer, let's say for Michael Jackson or somebody, not anymore, of course. Make sense? So what I'm trying to say with this, I don't know, except that just many of these things, the psychology of this kind of dance is not really gone. It just kind of goes away and falls asleep for a while and we wake it up again sometime 200 years later. I'm not going to go through the other movements of this time. We can call it off now for a moment.